Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another Doordash video showing you how we're leveling up our game today. Yes, we're well on our road to getting $50,000 in Doordash income this year, and we've added Uber. Yes, we could do Uber Eats, we could do Uber driving. Man, some awesome opportunities for us. Today, as far as Doordash goes, we're going to work for 12 hours and make $250. Let's get started. Well, it's been an interesting morning so far. We got up, we were going to work on a few things on YouTube, and we decided to take a look at Uber because we kind of periodically are doing that, just checking the heat map and seeing what's out there. And we saw this just before 5 a.m. So we're like, wow, there might be some good activity out there. If we could nab a rideshare in town with plus $6 right out the gate, that would be great. We jumped in the shower, we got all ready, and we went out, and of course it disappeared. It was down to $3 or something, but anyway, so we went ahead and started our Doordash shift at that time, which was about 5:30, something like that. And our first order, surprisingly, was Waffle House, $6.44 at 2.5 miles. Now, the interesting thing with that is that was the very first time that there had been a Waffle House order. So I don't know if I was the absolute first, but it had just started that night, and the third shift employees had never seen one before. So I probably was the very first Doordash order for our Waffle House. Interesting. Then we got an upside down order, but we went ahead and took it because we had some declines and we wanted to work on our acceptance rate this morning. So $4.40 going 7.6 miles at Hardee's. Then we got a Panera Bread, $6.35 going 4.2 miles. Followed by, oh yeah, so when we go to drop off the Hardee's order, they wanted us to go around this big block rather than just taking a straight line. So it said 8 minutes. But then I went ahead and went straight, and look what happens. The second I turned to go straight, 5 minutes. So saving 3 minutes off of an 8-minute trip, that's insane, Doordash, Google Maps, whoever's responsible for that craziness, trying to make us late. And then we got a Starbucks, $6.85 going 2.8 miles. Followed by another Starbucks, $6.35 going 3.2 miles. Followed by a Hardee's, $6.35 going 2.4 miles. Followed by a Lincoln Square, $5.85 going 1.6 miles. And the interesting thing was we did 7 orders. 4 of those 7 orders, actually 5 of those 7 orders were in the exact same neighborhood. Yeah, check out this map. Isn't that crazy? Wow. And then it got to be about 7:15 or 7:30 or so, and there was kind of a slowdown in orders. There was like a couple minutes with no orders. So, just for giggles, I decided to turn on Uber. And we were in this nice plus $6 zone. So I'm just like sticking my toe in that zone and getting that plus $6, and we get a $25 Uber ride. Taking an old gentleman to work on the northeast side of Indianapolis. So we did that, and that earned us $25.76 for one ride, less than an hour. Pretty awesome. And now we got to figure out, we're going to go back home, but I do need to go see my dad this morning, so I'm going to set a location for where my dad lives, which is called Shelbyville, Indiana. So I'm going to set a location there, see if we happen to get a ride on the way. But let's see if we can sit in a purple zone first. Okay, so we took a little break, and when we came back, we had a real interesting mix of orders. Let's see if we can go through all of these. We're just going to go through all of them for the whole night here. We took a little break. When we came back, we had a real interesting mix of orders, and we're just going to go through all of them for the whole night here because it was a long night. Here we go. Popeye's Louisiana Chicken, $11.85 going 9.9 miles. Then Taco Bell, $11.75 going 7.7 miles. And with the Taco Bell, we get this drink here. I don't know what's in there. It looks like somebody lost their teeth in it from having too much soda. I don't know what the heck that is. And then we got a White Castle, $7.25 going 4.4 miles. A Panda Express, $6.75 going 2.6 miles. Then we got a double order at Cracker Barrel. We had the joy of waiting. I got a story about this one. So Cracker Barrel, double order, $14.40 going 4.5 miles. I was thinking, yes, it's a great order. The first one comes out, and then the second one, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then I look at it, and it says it's a vegetable plate, which is basically like items that are already prepared. They just need to go onto the plate. Because I worked as a general manager with Cracker Barrel for 5 years. Yeah. So then I'm like, what's the issue? Can we get this? And yeah, crazy. All right. Then we got Chick-fil-A, $8.35 going 6.4 miles. Panda Express, Little Caesars, a double order, $16.40 going 6.9 miles. Nice order there. And then we got a Taco Bell, $5.50 going 1.7 miles. Dairy Queen, $6.25 going 1.3 miles. Penn Station, $7.75 going 5.7 miles. Then another Penn Station, a double order. Man, we were getting some good orders, making up for a little bit of that early day stuff. Penn Station, a double order, $19.15 going 7.6 miles. Then a Speedway order, $7.75 going 6.1 miles. Subway order, yes, it's upside down, but I'm okay with that because it's basically kind of an average order. And we've had some great orders and a lot of average orders. You're going to have a lot of average orders. That's what makes them average. Subway, $9.05 going 11.3 miles. When that one was a little bit far north, so then when I was coming back, I knew that it was pretty close to shift change there for the warehouses and one specifically a factory there. And so I pull up the Uber app to look at it, and this is the heat map that I get. The bonus of $2.75 plus a bonus of $3.75 right up there at the north end of town, right where I'm coming. So I decided to go ahead and turn on the Uber. I turned off Doordash. I turned on the Uber, and I was waiting around in that. Nothing was happening. So then I go ahead and I turned on Doordash again. Nothing's happening. So I'm like, okay, it must be something with my phone, with the internet connection, something going on there. So, cell tower, I don't know. So I decided to go ahead and start driving a little bit. Bing, bing, both of them, Uber and DoorDash, both go off. The Uber order I wasn't able to screenshot. They don't stay on the screen long enough. It's really hard to screenshot. I'm going to have to see if I can go back in the app and find those orders after the fact. It'll be easier for me. I chose not to on that Uber order because that one was in Indianapolis. Even though I think it was about $15 or something like that. But then I get this DoorDash order, which was $15.05, 2 places on pickups, White Castle and wings, etc. Yeah, it looks a little wonky because, again, the connection was not going too good there. And I was struggling trying to make sure I accepted one of the 2 orders. All right. And then we get a Burger King order, which we're still sitting waiting on. But this will probably be our last order of the evening here. Burger King, $7.75 going 2.2 miles. All in all, fairly decent day. I'm really enjoying the adding of the Uber to what we're doing here. Gives me a lot of options here, and we'll see how those numbers pan out here in just a moment. All right, so how do we do for Monday, March the 16th? Well, let's start off with Uber. We had a couple of rides, and they were pretty interesting, to say the least. The first one was a retired gentleman going to work in Indianapolis. He was actually retired military. He had served in the 1st Cavalry and the military police. So he had some interesting stories to tell. And it was a long ride. I had ears, so I got to listen.
And so anyway, we dropped him off. And then we were on the northeast side of Indianapolis. We wanted to get to my father's. I had some things to do with my dad. And on the way, I was able to pick up somebody else. So my trip to my father then became very profitable. This second gentleman was a retired truck driver. He was waiting on a friend. He was going to get them a vehicle and they didn't show up, so he needed a ride to get back home. He had a couple of interesting stories. It was a very short ride. But anyway, once I dropped him off, he gave me a $20 cash tip, so that became very profitable. And anyway, how did we break down for our 2 trips? I think we also tried to go online a couple of other times there with Uber. So therefore, our time is a little bit off from those 2 rides. Our total time on Uber for Monday was an hour and a half. Our fares, we got $38.93. We got a promotion, 66 cents. They kind of boosted us up a little bit. And our tips were $25.57, bringing our total Uber earnings for $65.16, which we weren't even budgeting. All right. And then for DoorDash, we wanted to work for 12 hours, make $250. Well, we only worked 9 and a quarter hours. DoorDash paid us $100.60, and we got $120.34 in tips, bringing our total earnings from DoorDash to $220.94. Our total from both platforms, just under $300 for a Monday. We did drive 277 miles. Like I mentioned, the Uber is adding a lot of miles onto us. I still got to figure out how I'm going to break that down. But for right now, we'll just say that we drove those miles there. And gas, we had to put some gas in the vehicle there, about $40. So that kind of cut into us a little bit. But overall, we had a very fun day. And I hope you guys did too. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, I'd appreciate you subscribing. Come along. Join the journey. We're having a lot of fun.